is Ksenia, and if you're here, you're probably interested in sustainability, zero waste, minimalism, and mental health. Today, I want to take you on a journey through history, where I want to highlight the times when women brought society to its knees through their will and solidarity. Today we'll delve into the stories from ancient Greece to modern South Korea. The stories tell about the power of protest and feminism that women can achieve to change society. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, but now with everything that's going on in the US and all over the world, with women struggling for their rights, with the femicide, I want to emphasize how important women are for the society, that they are an integral part of society, and how we as feminists can unleash this power. I want to start from the story from ancient Greece, a play called Lysistrata, written by Aristophanes in 411 BCE. This is a play, and it's a comedy in a way that, there are plays that are dramas and that are comedy, and this is the latter one. And while it tackles very important issues, it does it in a light-hearted manner. The story is about a woman called Lysistrata, which in translation from ancient Greeks means the one who ends battles. It is the name, and the woman herself is apparently based on the real woman who existed in those times, and she was a priestess and played an important role in the society. The story is about the Peloponnesian War, the war between Athens and Sparta, the state cities, the polices, and women led by Lysistrata meet to discuss that the war is making it hard for them to making their lives even harder. They don't know where the husbands are away, then a lot of people are dying, and eventually, because back then the status of a woman, if she was unmarried, was lower than of a married one. So because of war, there was a generation of women who were even less than married women, so not just being second grade citizens, but then even a fraction of that. The decision is comically, but still quite interestingly, is to stop men from having war by stopping having sex with them. And it's not a light decision that these women take, because it is emphasized that they also enjoy relations, but they want to use the only power they have over their husbands to stop this war. And eventually they do succeed, because all men, both in Sparta and Athens, are so frustrated and horny that they decide to finish the war and come to the table together, because they have been denied by their wives. This shows power of a peaceful protest and just using the means that women have, and that maybe they are the only means to control, to benefit their social situation. Interestingly, even though it's written so long ago, this is quite a feminist piece of of literature, because Aristophanes raises a question how it is possible that women do so much within the house. They even handle the financial matters inside the house, but they do not have any say, not only about financial matters of their state, but also their security. I think if we juxtapose in today's times, it's also important conversation in Roe v. Wade discussion in the U.S. I did not. I will be frank with you. I did not read the story itself, the play itself, but I actually am a big fan of Greek mythology and also ancient Roman mythology, and I follow a podcast called Let's Talk About Myths Baby by Liv, a Canadian who has classical education. She has a bachelor's of classical literature, and the episode about Lysistrata is absolutely hilarious. She quotes from the play as well, and she puts her own spin on the understanding of Lysistrata in the modern times. And the episode is quite old. It was first released in 2018, but she also re-uploaded it several times because it keeps popping up, and the activism of women and their way to wield power in society is contemporary, even though the play itself is ancient. Now, fast forwarding back to more modern times in the 70s, when women in Iceland decided to completely stop doing anything, any work or housework, taking care of the children for just one day. And this is known as the Women's Day Off. And this has emphasized how important the role that women, mothers, workers, female workers, bosses play in the society. It took 90% of Icelandic women going on strike for one day to bring up serious changes in their country. This led to the elections of the first female president, Vigdís Finnbogadóttir, in 1980. And up until now, Iceland remains one of the most equally governed country in terms of gender in the world. And again, similar to Lysistrata, it emphasizes that when women recently I've seen discussions on TikTok that if women disappeared for a day, nothing would happen, but if men disappeared for a day, the society would fall apart. Well, we actually had a situation when women disappeared for a day, and it was crucial. So I'm not saying that men are not important. I'm just saying that the women play an integral part of society. And lastly, looking at the 4B movement in South Korea, which I've already mentioned in my previous video. 4B stands for 4 words in Korean, which are translated as no dating, no sex, no marriage, and no children. This is a radical feminist movement which is a response to the rampant sexism in the society. And do not be mistaken, it is not absolutely all women, and not even 90%, more closely 10% in South Korea that are participating in this, but it is already yielding significant results. Of course, I feel that not being from Korea, I am not the best equipped person to talk about this, but there are studies already showing that there is a significant demographic change in South Korea, and recently there was news that there are not enough children to send them to first grade, which will lead to a whole generation of children not being born. The reason for this movement is to challenge the traditional gender roles in South Korea, because women there are not only expected to be mothers, but also they are expected to be the main caretakers of the elderly in their family. This, which means not only taking care of your own parents, but also your in-laws, your husband's parents, which is a literal profession. This is so combined. This creates an immense pressure, physically, emotionally, and psychologically on women. It does not mean that all women who are rejecting men and dissenting men from their lives are not heterosexual or that they don't like men, but it is a political statement that they want with their lives, that they want to make with their lives. For some of them, it is easier to exclude men altogether from their life than trying to find the good apple, so to say, the good egg. And the government of South Korea is doing anything now to try to offer some kind of compensation to women for getting pregnant. Corporations are offering additional maternity leave or a huge amount of money for bearing a child. However, you have to understand that a singular action, just paying a lump sum money for a child, is not enough. Yes, there are costs associated with having children, it's childcare and of course paying for necessities, but it is also unseen cost that health, both physical and psychological. There is not enough talk about postpartum depression, and in addition, it also involves unfairness towards women who choose to have children, become mothers, whether they stay at home or if they want to continue their career, they still don't get promotions enough. And of course, if we take other countries like the US, there is no paid parenthood leave. The healthcare is too expensive. The bill would put people just too deep into debt. And in addition, it also puts mothers' lives in danger, especially if they are women of color. From history, even from recent history, there are so many cases when women and girls are being valued less than boys and men. Think about all the unborn girls in India who have been aborted after the prenatal screening was introduced, because it is considered that daughters are just not as valuable because they leave your family and you have to pay the dowry. Same as what resulted as gender imbalance in China after years of trying to control population and allowing only the one child. Boys were clearly preferred over than girls, just because they are able to get a higher paying job and better provide for the parents when they are older. I am not even talking about child marriage that is still legal in many states, and girls as young as 10 can become wives in some countries. From the movement in Latin America, started with Argentina, to the Me Too movement started in Hollywood, women continue to speak up about harassment that they face daily. But I wanted to share the stories of success, the stories of when women manage to put society on its knees to inspire all of you. I don't want to discourage you all for trying to protest in any way you can, and to be truly supportive of other minorities, of other people who are struggling. Thank you for joining me today on this serious conversation, which still needs to be had. Please go check out Let's Talk About Myths Baby podcast. And as all YouTubers and vloggers are supposed to say, please like this video and subscribe. Bye!